What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CeeLo's Film Club, where we break down the biggest movie news and dive deep into the world of cinema. Today, I will be reviewing one of my most anticipated movies of the year, Mickey 17. It is a Bong Joon-Ho latest sci-fi thrill starring none less than Twilight Boy himself and the Batman himself, Robert Pattinson. My expectations for the film, I'm not gonna lie, guys, they've been very, very high ever since, Bong Joon-Ho back in 2020 swept the Oscars with his film Parasite. We were all wondering what kind of movie he was going to do next. Especially once you win an Oscar, you pretty much have a say in what movie you can do, and studios are going to jump right up on it. And trying to be that studio that does work with a Oscar-winning director. Then we finally got the news that he was going to be doing a film based off the novel Mickey 7, and it was confirmed the film was going to be a sci-fi type of film. No one expected Bong Joon-Ho to make a sci-fi film after making a film like Parasite. Then months after, it was announced that Robert Pattinson was attached to be starring into the movie, and I think it just grew everyone's expectations a lot higher. Especially after Robert Pattinson coming off from great performances like Good Time, Lighthouse, and The Batman, which a lot of people loved him in that role. So, what's Mickey 17 about? It's a film based off the novel Mickey 7. It follows a man named Mickey Barnes, who is a disposable human worker sent on a dangerous mission to colonize a distant planet. Every time he dies, he gets reprinted and his memory gets loaded into the new clone that was printed out. But what happens when Mickey doesn't actually die and has to come to face with his replacement, or in this film they call him multiples, when there's more than one of the same character. Pretty much it is illegal in this expedition that they aren't but pretty much inhabiting this planet. It is illegal to have multiples. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so if you have not watched Mickey 17, I would suggest you guys to skip over the stuff that I'm going to say has spoilers in them and whatnot. But let me tell you guys, starting off right now, that Mickey 17 is not a perfect movie. It's neither a movie that's going to be running up for Oscars and anything like that. It is more of a satire, dark humor movie based off this, Expendable. Pretty much an expendable is someone that pretty much signs up for a job that Mickey Barnes does sign up in this film. He signs up for this for this job. Every time he does his job, he dies and pretty much gets reprinted and then does the job again. Pretty much from the time they leave Earth to the time they get to this new planet is pretty much, I think, is 4 years and a half. Mickey is pretty much the only expendable in this whole, ship full of a whole bunch of other people that want to leave Earth to pretty much land over into this new planet that they're gonna pretty much inhabit. Pretty much on the way from Earth all the way to this new planet, they are going to use Mickey 17 as pretty much a test dummy. They'll send him outside of the spaceship. They tell him to take his mask off to feel pretty much the atmosphere, breathe in all the air, any viruses that he takes in. He knows he's gonna die, but pretty much he reports all the symptoms and stuff like that to the head of the people that are doing all this. They're running this company pretty much. He is a crash dummy. He dies, gets reprinted until we actually hit the number 17 version of himself, and that's when the plot takes a right turn. There's some negatives, so I'll talk about my negatives first, and then we'll get into our positives. My negatives of the film is, I want to say the character of Natasha. I would have seen one of my negatives, but she's still a good character, but is one of my weaker characters that they could have done a little bit more. She is pretty much the love interest of Mickey 17. She plays her role in the film. She plays a guard. She's very good at hand-to-hand combat, good with weapons. She's a great guard, very strong, opinionated, strong, knows what she exactly wants, and not scared to speak her mind, but is very smart. She's not just a hothead, that's rebels against the system. She's very smart. She is very smart. The thing that I did not like about her is how they pretty much kind of show her. I don't want to say taking advantage of Mickey 17, because she never really does at all. but she right away falls in love with him. Mickey 17, of course, is all over her. She's a strong, person and whatnot, but you don't really know what her intentions are throughout the film. You can tell she really likes him, loves him, cares for him, but you really don't know what his intentions, because there's a thing where when Mickey 18 pops up, what we'll talk a little bit later, a little bit more about later. She has like a little love triangle between them three. Not a love triangle, but once I get a little freaky with both of them, and it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of threw me off in the film. Didn't really think that she would try to do something like that. And then you kind of ask what her intentions are with Mickey 17. Especially when we get too deeper of the character of Mickey 17. But other than that, I really like her character. I think I did really like the actress in her character. The actress is played by Naomi Aki. She does great in this film. She was also in Blink Twice. I really like the ending of her character. I think the way that the end of her character, she pretty much becomes like a higher leader in there. For the people and whatnot, and I think she does a really great job and portraying that character. One aspect that I thought they could have done a better job, because when they did hit this aspect, is they did really good, and is the emotional part of the film. I think they could have touched more on the emotional parts of the film. Mickey's backstory, they did touch upon it, but the parts that were emotional, I think they could have sat on it a little bit more. They feel a little rushed. And whatnot, but I think they could have touched a little bit more, because there is emotional part in the film that you really, you really do feel for Mickey. Like throughout the film, you just feel for Mickey. They do a good part about that when it comes to emotions, but there are certain parts of there were very emotional that they could have said a little bit more. This part I'm going to explain. It is a spoiler alert, so if you guys have not seen the film, this is your warning. Mickey 18 pretty much sacrificed himself at the end. But I think when they do it, they did it pretty cool how he does it, and it, do feel some emotion, but I think they could have sat on that death a little bit more, so it really takes you home when he dies. I think they rushed it just a little bit when he does die at the end, but I think it felt a little rushed. That's one of my downfalls for the emotional parts. If you expect this movie to be very emotional, and it's really, they really do touch. There's the big theme in this movie, I'm going to say right now. They do always ask Mickey, and it kind of bothers him, what is it like to die? Everyone asks him because, they all know that he's an expendable. I'll tell you this. I think they're going to touch a little bit more on that, and they did not. But, I do think that this movie could have done a little bit more with that, and they never really did. The film was long. I think it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I did not feel like it was that long because I had a great time. But I feel the movie was cut short in certain parts. I think like the emotional parts I mentioned, it seemed that it was almost chopped up to be a little bit of a shorter film. Maybe the film was 3 hours, then they wanted it shorter, the studio, so that it takes some parts out, and they were like, oh, let's just keep all the all the funny parts, the action sequences and whatnot, and then it seemed like the film was cut a little bit short. Those are my negatives. They're not that big. I do want to tell you guys that I did love this film. I did have a lot of fun watching this film, but those were my negatives of the film. The humor was great. All the timing of all the characters were really good when it came to being funny. Mickey 17 was funny. He was hilarious. Robert Pattinson did a great job. His comedic timing is impeccable. I think him as Mickey 17 and him being kind of that yes man, he knows he dies and does his mission over and over, and he knows that he's getting taken advantage of, but he doesn't care because he just wants to do the right job at the end of the day. He wants to do a great job actually at the end of the day. He's always just trying to help someone out, be a hand. He kind of gets pushed over a little bit because he's just a yes man, a people pleaser. And I think Robert Pattinson did hit those comedic timing when Mickey 17 asked, sometimes asks dumb questions. Sometimes he's just sitting there working out with the little dumbbell. It was just funny, dude. Like Robert Pattinson as Mickey was hilarious. Another humorous part of it was Mark Ruffalo's character as Marshall. He was super funny. It pretty much bites off different politicians, but you can tell it's biting off a politician that that's currently big right now, and Mark Ruffalo is just hilarious. He has these big teeth that are just funny. His timing is hilarious. His face expression is hilarious. It is over the top acting, but I think it is because it's supposed to be. It's a satire, guys. This is making fun of our world today, politicians, and stuff like that. It is very about capitalism and using just humans as test dummies, and kind of not caring about the lower class. But they do such a funny job with this, man. Mark Ruffalo, I think, was super funny. Every time he was on screen, everyone was laughing. Is it a Oscar-worthy performance? I don't think so. To me, it was more over the top funny, what it was supposed to be, pretty much. A mockery of satire of our world today, pretty much. That's what it seems like to me. For the supporting cast, I really love Steven Yeun as Timo. He is Mickey's friend from before, this exploration to this new planet. They pretty much own a macaroon shop, and they go under, and they owe pretty much this mob dealers a whole bunch of money. He is a piece of shit friend. I'll tell you, this guy right now takes advantage of Mickey, guilt trips Mickey all the time, kind of uses Mickey, to put all the money under his name, and that's why all this money that they were owed is under Mickey's name and stuff like that for the macaroon shop that they opened up. But he's just a piece of shit character. But Steven Yeun does great as his character of Timu. He has some raging moments, fight scenes that he fights a couple other characters, and they're pretty well done. But yeah, he is a pretty good supporting cast. He is that friend that a lot of people that have that get taken advantage of their other friends, and he plays that character spot on. Then we have the great Tony. She plays the character of, I can never say her name, Ifla. It's the wife of Marshall. Pretty much she's always in Marshall's ear, always telling them, oh, I think we should do this too, we should do that. It's pretty much they're pretty much this, power couple. She is the wife of the politician of Mark Ruffalo. And she does a really good job in her role. She pretty much likes to have fun with Mark Ruffalo too. They're very dictatorship. She's like pretty much a right hand, not a right hand man, but he is Mark Ruffalo's other, half. She's always in his ear, talking him up, telling him how great he looks, and then kind of puts him on check, because Mark Ruffalo's character can be a little bit of buffoon, kind of says stuff without thinking, very similar to our world today, and also is a failing politician that, wants to inhabit this new planet pretty much, and start his own, his own civilization there with humans, and use his political views, and kind of a lot of people on the ship follow him from his days as him running for politician, and a lot of people just want to leave Earth because it's a shit show down there, which they never really get into, so they're all on this expedition to leave Earth, pretty much. But yeah, she pretty much is a great character. She's a piece of shit too as well. She is very someone you don't mess with as well. But yeah, she's really into sauces. I'll get into that a little bit. She's always into food. She's always trying to, find things to make, pretty good food, because they're pretty much gonna end up not having the best food out there in this new planet. Now let's get into the creepers. The creepers are pretty much, the animals that they're living in this planet. They can communicate with Robert Pattinson's character Mickey by making these noises. Robert Pattinson kind of catches on to that they want to communicate with them, and pretty much when they show up to this planet, they all think the creepers are bad and they want to eat them, but they don't. They just don't want to be messed with. They pretty much just, they are the, they are the ones that are, they're the pioneers of this planet pretty much. And, they're just, acting in defense of, of these new, these humans just coming in and trying to take over their planet. They do want to use their blood and stuff like that and their insides for sauces, which is actually pretty funny. touch to the film. And let me tell you guys about my favorite part of the film, Robert Pattinson. He was just a joy watching him act. Hearing his accent as Mickey 17, seeing him do two different characters on the screen was phenomenal. 17 and 18 are such different characters. His mannerism, his accent that 17 has, it is spot on, so good, and you're always just latched on watching them, go back and forth. 17 plays more of a, like I said earlier, he is more of a yes man kind of character, just excited to do a good job every time. Anything you need, he's there for you, but he is kind of a pushover. He is a yes man. People pleaser, so it's very easy to people kind of push over him and stuff like that, but you really sympathize with that, and that is Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Mickey 17. This guy has died 16, 17 times, and every time he says he doesn't like it. Even though he's going to get reprinted and live again, as a exact version of himself with exact memories, exact body, but every time he dies, it's not fun. You're pretty much out crashed. People don't really care if you're dying, and you really sympathize with that when they go back to his, his backstory. Pretty much his mom dies in a car accident, and he feels that fault for pressing his button in the car that he was, was just a little kid being curious, and he carries that guilt with him. Mickey 18, he plays also Mickey 18, which is the multiple version of himself, which he pretty much is going to be a spoiler. So if you not watched this is your spoiler right now. Mickey 18 is pretty much a multiple in this case where Mickey 17 was on a mission. They thought he died. They left him behind, and they just reprinted him. And Mickey 17 ends up going back, and he comes face to face with Mickey 18. Yeah, so Mickey 18 is pretty much a different version of Mickey 17. Mickey 18 pretty much is a little bit more fearless than him. He does not take shit from people, and it does not. I don't want to say he does not care attitude. But yeah, he's not afraid, to be honest. He is not afraid. He still has the same memories of Mickey, of all the other, of the original Mickey. But he pretty much does not take shit from people. He even tells Mickey 17, he's like, dude, you're a fucking bitch. Why would you let anyone talk to you like this or treat you like this? I know, I've seen it all. I have your exact memories. I'm the same as you, but you're a little bitch, pretty much tells him. And then he plays that role pretty good. At the end, he sacrifices himself and he kills the politician, Marshall. It was a really good scene at the end. I thought it was, how he killed himself. I thought Mickey 17 was going to be the one to do it. And they're going to touch on this is what it is to live, is when you're going to die. And I think that would have been a very nice thing they would have touched on. But I'm going to give you guys my overall wrap of this film. This film was beautifully, crafted. I really liked the satire of it, of the whole film. Don't take this film too serious, guys. Just have fun with it. If you guys look at this film this way, I think you guys will enjoy it. It is a funny film, a lot of dark humor. Robert Pattinson's performance is, something that you really enjoy watching. I think Robert Pattinson has excelled as an actor. Twilight days, but dude, yeah, Robert Pattinson is awesome in this film, and I think everyone have a really good time watching this. I did. I actually watched this in 4DX, which I never watched the movie in 4DX before, and I had a great time. So yeah, let me know if you guys watch Mickey 17. If you guys have not watched it, you guys excited for this? Is this something you guys are looking forward to? If drop down your comments and let me know why you guys are interested or not interested in this film. So that is it, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification button so you guys do not miss any videos that I do post and talk about films. Peace.